Have you ever loved someone so deeply you thought it would last forever? But forever became, it's over. And what was left? Silence, emptiness, a prayer stuck in your throat and a question that won't go away. God, why couldn't it be me? If this pain has a name in your life, stay with me till the end. Because today you won't just understand the loss, you'll discover the purpose hidden inside it. Some loves don't end in fights or slam doors. They end in silence, in a final look that says everything and nothing at the same time. And when that happens, the heart tries to understand how something so alive could end so abruptly. How could a love that seemed eternal become just memory? The truth is, some feelings are so intense, they tattoo the soul. They don't fade with time, they just change color, from vibrant joy to deep longing. It's like holding broken glass. The more we try to keep it in our hands, the more we hurt ourselves. And that's where many get lost, trying to preserve what no longer exists. But God doesn't disappear when the heart bleeds. On the contrary, it's in those moments that He gets even closer. He knows every tear we couldn't cry, and even when we don't understand the reason for the loss, He is still God. Not a punishing God, but one who cares, who embraces, who turns pain into wisdom. Maybe the love that left was real but not eternal. Maybe it fulfilled its purpose for that time, that season. And now God is calling you to something new. Because while you're looking back, He's already prepared what's ahead. And what He has for your life isn't a draft, it's a perfect plan. Even if it seems incomprehensible now, remembering isn't wrong. Loving wasn't a mistake, but staying stuck in the past, that's what keeps the new from arriving. When love becomes memory, it's time to surrender it to God and trust that He, the author of life, knows how to write the next chapters, even when you're still trying to close the previous one. Sometimes pain seems pointless. It comes uninvited and settles in the deepest parts of our soul. It steals our appetite, our sleep, even our faith. It makes us wonder if God really sees, if He's listening. But what many don't realize is that when pain is placed in the right hands, it doesn't destroy, it transforms. When we give our wounds to God, something begins to change. Not from the outside in, but from the inside out. The pain that once crushed us now shapes us. It teaches us to look beyond our desires and see a greater purpose. The loss is no longer the end of the road. It becomes a strategic redirection, planned by the one who sees what we cannot. It was through pain that Joseph discovered his purpose. Betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, unjustly imprisoned. But at the right time, he was elevated to a place where he saved an entire nation. His suffering wasn't punishment. It was preparation. And the same happens with us. God never wastes pain. Every tear is a seed planted for a new season. You may not understand it now, but healing is happening behind the scenes. While you're praying with a broken heart, God is aligning people, opportunities, and paths you haven't even imagined yet. He won't just comfort you. He will use this pain to awaken your true calling. The loss may mark your story, but it does not define your destiny. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Romans 8:28. God's no can feel like rejection, like a closed sky, deafening silence, a slammed door when we most need shelter. And it hurts, because in our limited view, we mistake His care for indifference. But God never abandons His children. He protects them, even when we don't understand. How many times have we begged for something, believing it was the best for us? And when it didn't happen, we felt abandoned. But what we don't see is that often, God is saving us from pain only He can see. A relationship that looked perfect, but would bring imbalance. A plan that seemed beautiful, but would lead us away from our eternal purpose. What feels like absence today may become gratitude tomorrow. If it had worked out, you might never have grown spiritually. You might still be stuck in what was preventing your bloom. God is not just a gift giver. He knows hearts, intentions, and all possible futures. He loves you so much, He'd rather frustrate you for a moment than see you destroyed later. God's no can be the greatest yes to your true essence. A yes to your growth, to your freedom, to the discovery of who you really are in Christ. He didn't set you aside. He removed you from a path that, although beautiful on the surface, was about to collapse underneath. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. There are moments when everything goes dark, the future loses its color, days drag on, and the soul feels a weight that even rest can't lift. The heart is so wounded that even prayer feels hard. In those times, the absence of answers can feel like abandonment. But that's exactly when faith is most needed. Even when we can't see it, God remains lit. Darkness doesn't frighten the one who created light. He sees beyond pain. And when you think you're alone, he's actually closer than ever. Not in grand speeches, but in the quiet presence that sustains you day by day. Pain may be strong, but his light is stronger. Darkness sometimes teaches us how to see. When everything around us disappears, we start to notice what truly matters. Pain clears the soul's vision, reveals hidden truths, draws us closer to our essence. Instead of running to distractions, we run to the Father's arms. And there we find a rest the world never offered. God's presence doesn't eliminate suffering, but it transforms how we face it. He lights the path one step at a time, slowly but always on time. His light doesn't flicker, it remains. And even if you see only shadows now, believe this night will pass. The dawn is coming, bringing healing, peace, and a fresh start. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23:4. Losing someone or something you deeply love can make you believe it's over, that there are no more roads ahead. But God specializes in writing new beginnings with lines we thought were endings. He never wastes pain. Every broken piece can become part of a new masterpiece. Stronger, more beautiful, more real. Loss, as painful as it is, creates space, and God works with space. When the heart is too full, there's no room for the new. Sometimes it must be emptied so that rebirth can happen. What looked like the end can become fertile soil for a season of rebuilding. In other areas, in new forms, with renewed purpose. What you lost doesn't erase who you are. It doesn't cancel God's plans. In fact, it may be the very trigger for you to find who you were truly meant to be. God sees you beyond the pain. He sees you healed, standing tall, loving again, smiling without guilt, living with purpose and grace. Maybe you didn't choose this pain, but you can choose what it will produce. You can choose whether to shut down or bloom. God has already chosen. He wants you to live, to move forward, to experience His goodness again, and to allow yourself to begin. Even with scars, even with memories, even with fear, that's an act of faith. Behold, I make all things new. Revelation 21:5. You who made it this far carry a story that maybe few people understand, but God understands. He saw when you loved, He saw when you lost, He saw when you were falling apart inside while smiling on the outside. And now He is here, telling you, my son, my daughter, it's not over. With me, there's always a new beginning. What you lived through was not in vain. The love you had was real, and it doesn't disappear, it transforms. And the pain that still weighs on your chest today will one day become the testimony that brings healing to others. You don't need to understand everything right now. You just need to take the next step. God will lead the rest. If this video spoke to your heart, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and surrender this pain to the only one who can turn it into eternal purpose. Because when God steps in, even loss is no longer loss. It becomes the seed of a brand new story. Never forget, your faith is your strength, and it will guide you toward the purpose God has for you.